John, Newcastle United 2, Nottingham Forest 0. First game of the season, 3 points. Comfortable performance, wasn't it, the day, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, look, the first game of the season is going to be important. Yeah, we had to get off we had to start well. We had to start well, and that's exactly what we've done today. And we come dominate from minute 1 to minute 90, Pete. I thought we all played well today. I thought Dan Burn at the back was excellent. I thought he was. Yeah, well, looked at the team now. I thought it's Bottom going to play, but you got to trust Eddie what he does. He's got to bring him in, right, when he feels it's right. But I thought we were excellent today. I thought Nick put down the thing I'd do today.
You may as well have had a deck chair in front of him, because Forest offered absolutely nothing. Was Jesse Lingard even playing the day?
I know, I didn't know he was playing today or not. He was just anonymous today. And I just thought bothered him today. We bothered most of the Forest players as well, Pete. And you know what it is, right? I mean, the midfield today was fantastic. Joe Litton did Joe Litton settings. Bruno, what can I say about this guy? Confident midfield, that guy's brilliant. You know what I mean? Joe Willock put a shift in. I thought Miggy, for me, he works hard, but we need an A-lister, a right-sided A-lister on the right side midfield. We definitely need someone up front in case Callum gets injured, you know. But I thought that the goal was going to come. It was going to come, and it came with a lovely goal from Famin Shea. That goal set that tone, and you know what it is? I thought the keeper should have done something about that. But hey, that's not our problem. He scored, and I was comfortable.
Absolutely, that reminded me of Burnley the last season under Rafa, the way he just really put us through that. Dean Henderson had no chance. Wilson, fairly quiet until he scored, but you know when he gets in the right place at the right time, he's going to tuck them away.
You know what it is, Pete? It just takes one chance, one goal. That's exactly what he's done. It's a lovely finish, by the way. But look, he was quiet today. He didn't get the service today. ASM done the work today. I thought Bruno did the work. Listen, I mean, you're going to have some off days as well, but Callum came back alive and he scored a cracking goal. But we need him fit for the whole 38 games. Are we going to get that with him? No, we won't. That is the thing. But, like I say, we definitely need a striker in. We're after this guy, Finn Wren. Can't pronounce his name, by the way, from the right side midfield player. We need to get him ASAP if it's going to be him. The one player I'd love to get at Newcastle, Pete, is Isaac. I know it's going to cost 70-odd million quid for release clause, but at the end of the day, right, I can see someone's going to come in. Someone is going to send that money, and we're going to sign someone no one's ever heard of. I think Isaac's going to be that guy.
Absolutely. Again, it's a big season for Forest at the moment, isn't it? Because they just didn't really offer anything at all, did they?
Pete, they've done 86 million quid on players, sweet. They spent 12 players, right? And it's going to take a long time to gel in that team. Now, they need to fix up very, very quickly. Steve Cooper needs to fix up quickly. They tried to get Gibbs White a couple of years ago, and I got turned down here. But if they sign too many players, Forest, and you can't put a team out, then you're going to be in big, big trouble. And for what I've saw today, I think they're going to be in big trouble. Unless they get a settled team. They will not get a settled team by 13, 14, 15 players in that season.
That's it. We'll go on to Brighton next week. I know we're records down there. Can we end a rot down at Brighton? Who says why we can't?
Anything that happens, Pete. I mean, look, everybody say we're going to try and get a point there. We tend to win. When you get a point, you get beat. But look, at the end of the day, it's going to be a tough place to go. They haven't got Bissouma now, right? But they've still got good players at the club. Lewis Dunk defends properly, yeah? And Pura, I can't remember his name, he's an excellent player, you know. And they got that lad from, I can't remember, it's from Paraguayan lad. He's a good player, scoring goals, been out on loan at Brighton, Belgian clubs, yeah? Look, it's going to be tough there. If we can get something out of the game, Pete, we'll be happy.
Absolutely, well, brilliant, thank you.
There you go, thanks.
Shorty, Newcastle United 2, Nottingham Forest 0. First game of the season, 3 points in the bag, and a very, very comfortable performance.
As said, we've just continued from last season. We're so, positive in our play. We're very good in possession of the ball. We don't, waste a lot of the possession that we have these days under Eddie Howe. He's got, tactically sound. I thought we went into the game, with a purpose to win. And obviously, Forest were always going to come into the game with a game plan of just sitting back, which is what they've done all game. I felt first half, we didn't really put the chances away that we should have done. I think Joe Linton for me was the big miss of the afternoon. He put himself about, got himself into the box, it made it happen, then he's dragged it wide, didn't he? I think he's got to put that in. I think Henderson was obviously time wasting for Forest.
Didn't like that at all.
No, there was just nothing going forward for Forest, but I just felt like, with the chances that we created, Almiron and that, we should have been 2 or 3 up. Obviously, second half, I think we'll come out again stronger than Forest, and Fabian Schär open to scoring.
What a goal as well. Reminds me of Burnley last season under Rafa.
It was. He caught it so sweetly, and he put it past the goalkeeper, and it was only a matter of time. And I think that just settled us down really, for what was to come of the rest of the game. And I felt like, with the goal that he scored, I said, Nick Pope's right thinking, I'm glad that's not me this time.
Absolutely. He may as well have had the deck chair out there the day Nick Pope, because he had absolutely nothing to do. Was Jesse Lingard even playing?
I forgot Lingard was even on the pitch, to be honest. I've said he wasn't really doing a great deal for Forest today. But then again, I think they're a side that are obviously looking to gel, to try and get used to the Premier League. As I said, I think, that performance for them was probably a 2-3 out of 10. But in terms of ourselves, I thought we'll continue where we left off. Got the second goal through Wilson, good finish.
Yeah.
And as I said, I think we should have really have been 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe to the good. But at the end of the day, we've seen out the game, kept the clean sheets. Pope wasn't really worked all game, as you said. And we'll move on to Brighton. Another tough fixture down at the Amex, but it's not a game that we can't get another 3 points in.
Absolutely. Rots are there to be ended, because it is down there, but who says we can't go down there? Would you thought Wilson was fairly quiet until he scored? I really thought he was, but when he gets in those positions, he's going to tuck them away.
Yeah, that's it. I think at times there's got to be enough service into him for him to create the chances. But sometimes there's times where he's got to get in the box. I feel like we've got to do a bit more. Sometimes it's like the final pass, the final third, that we've got to be better. And I still believe we need another striker, because we're still light in that area. But as I said, in terms of like how Eddie tactically set up the team, I thought it was good. Even like at 0-0, going into the second half, he didn't panic or anything like that. He just persisted. We got a couple of goals, and then we showed our class towards the end, and Eddie brought on the players that he needed to bring on. It was good to see Botman get a couple of minutes towards the end. I think that's what he's going to do, similar to what he did with Bruno. But the squad will look confident. It looks as if we can really kick on this season to bigger and better things. And I feel like now we just need to build on it. Going into Brighton, and if we can show the same attitude, and if we could just improve in the final third a bit more and put teams away, then I feel like we're onto something this season.
So do I. It's definitely brilliant.
No problem.
All Newcastle United 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Yep. First game of the season, 3 points in the bag, and a very, very comfortable performance.
Absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? From start to finish. Forest came with an intention for me to get a point, and it was going that way. You were thinking, is it going to be one of these frustrating days where we just can't get that opening goal? And it did take something really special to break them. But once we got the first one, it was always going to be a Newcastle win. We dominated.
Yep, absolutely. The goal from Fabian Schär was an absolute corker. That reminded me of Burnley in the last season under Rafa. The way he just put his foot through that and it just rifled that into the back of the net.
Same end as well. Same end. I mean, I was sort of in an angle to it, so it left his foot and it kind of wobbled. And you just knew. We were all like, that's in. And it hit the back of the net. I mean, Henderson had no chance of getting to that. It was a tremendous shot, but it needed something like that to break Forest down and get that first goal, and then after that we were away.
Yep. Dean Henderson, time wasted. What is he?
He's a monumental bell end, Peter. But the bottom line is, in the first half, I counted 16, 17 seconds he had a hold of that ball. Now, the referees have got to clamp down on this, surely, because, it's supposed to be a 6-second rule. And if it goes over 6 seconds, you're supposed to be booked. Stato told me that, so don't come at me if I'm wrong with that, but I trust in what he says. What are these referees doing? He's standing looking at the player. It's all right warning the captain, saying, if he does it again, he's booked. But, he's done it. So get him 17 seconds, man. Ridiculous.
Far too long on the ball. Wilson, fairly quiet, I've got the mid throughout the game, but soon as he was in the right place, he's going to tuck them away, isn't he?
Well, the thing is, you look at the first half and, we dominated, but that final ball in the final third just wasn't happening. It was very frustrating. Forest were blocking it, or the passes were just a little bit overhit. It was great football and just very frustrating for the players as well. So you know what Callum Wilson's like, though. A striker, he is an out-and-out striker. So he can be quiet for 89 minutes, pop up for 1 minute of the game and do his damage. And that's exactly what he did. A beautiful run in front of the defender, just flicked it over the goalkeeper. absolutely brilliant goal. 2 brilliant goals today.
Absolutely. Nick Pope may as well have had a deck chair put out in front of him the day because he had nothing to do. Was Jesse Lingard even playing?
Well, look, that's what it is. He's made the decision to go to Forest. Look, at the end of the day, I think Forest will be all right. They've got a really brilliant fan base. They sung their hearts out there today, as you'd expect, just come back up to the Premier League. But I think Lingard, maybe they signed too many players too early. So, you look at all the new signings they played today. Have they gelled as a team yet? It's still early days. So I think they'll be all right. Lingard, he is a player that can unlock defences. We know he is. Look, whatever we think of him, he's a very good footballer. So I think he'll do really well for Forest. But, hey, we shut him down today. We shut him down.
Certainly did. Brighton next Saturday. Of course, our record down there is not good, but can we end a rot down there?
Well, the old Newcastle's record wasn't very good, Pete, but the new Newcastle, different story, mate. Different story.
Well, there you are. They're brilliant as well. Thank you. Alex, Newcastle United 2, Nottingham Forest 0. First game of the season, 3 points, and just a very, very comfortable performance.
It was indeed. A little bit nervy that we didn't score in the first half, but we dominated in every aspect of the game. We closed down their counter-attacks okay. Obviously, Eddie gave him a bit of advice at half-time, presumably. We got the ball in the back of the net twice in the second half, so... Yeah, very, very good display. Very, very good.
Absolutely. Fabian Schär, what an absolute cragger. It just reminded me of Burnley the last season under Rafa, the way he just absolutely put his boot through that ball and it just went in the back of there. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he's got it in his locker. He's done it. He used to do it under Rafa. He'd score 3 bangers a season from outside the box. He lost a bit of confidence in recent years, but in the last sort of 6 to 10 months, he's been outstanding. And we know he can do that, and obviously that maybe it was an instruction, maybe he just felt that little bit of space and he just thought, you know what, and we needed it because we were struggling to break them down with our own attacking quality, which is a little frustrating, but he helped get the ball rolling. So
yeah, absolutely. Pope may as well have had a deck chair the day. I don't think Forest did anything at all. Didn't really test us out at all, did they?
No, I mean, we had to still respect them. Brennan Johnson was ready for it. They were trying to do little 1-2s and release him, but Byrne did very well to cover on the occasional times he did get through. And Pope had to be focused doing his high line stuff and came out a couple of times at the right times. But we were right. We dealt with them pretty well.
That's the main thing. Wilson, fairly quiet throughout the game, but as soon as he's gone in the right place for his goal, he's going to tuck them away in, and really, really good finish to make us score 2-0 up in the game as well.
Yeah, very important. He didn't get too much service early on in the game, and he struggled a little bit. Soft header, I think he got on target early on. And it's very, very important that he's off the line game 1, because he's our main man. So, if we can keep him fit, he's in this mood scoring straight away, very positive.
Absolutely. Well, we move on to Brighton away next Saturday. I know our record down there is terrible, but can we end a rot down there? Who says we can't? I mean, look at the way Eddie House transformed the side. Why can't we get a result down at Brighton?
Yeah, I mean, Brighton are still jigging things around at the moment. Lost Bissouma, just lost Cucurella, so we look strong. We beat them last time we played them, so there's no reason why we can't. I mean, the 5 subs rule has helped because we took off our main players late on, so we know that they're okay. Doesn't seem to be any injuries. Obviously, Shah went down a bit heavy, but he played on, so we're as ready as we're going to be.
That's it. I didn't like Dean Henderson's time wasting in the game. He was holding on the ball far too long.
Yeah, I'm very surprised he didn't get a booking for that. He definitely deserved that. There is a rule about holding the ball for more than 6 seconds. It's never implemented. He did take it a little bit too far a few times, and he was very lucky not to go in the book. And he was poor today. A lot of our shots were quite close to him, so he should be saving those. But his distribution was awful. He couldn't find his fullbacks, his own strikers. Very, very poor performance from Henderson, to be honest.
So he wasn't. One of the Forest team had a good game anyways. Lingard was even playing.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was a surprise to me. Colback did okay. I was disappointed that Willock lost out quite a few times in duels. Ryan Fraser lost to Colback in a foot race, a fresh Fraser, which was a little disappointing to see. But apart from Colback, most of them were quite poor. Lingard struggled to get any sort of foothold in the game. Yeah.
Absolutely, well, brilliant. Thank you very much, man. Lawrence, Newcastle United 2, Nottingham Forest 0. First game of the season, that's 3 points in the bag. Very, very comfortable performance today.
Absolutely, very good to get started with a win. Should have been more, but when that's probably the only negative, then that's always a good sign. And of course, our first home game since 2012 against Tottenham.
Absolutely, yes. Fabian Schär, what a goal. What a strike. That reminded me of Burnley in the last season under Rafa, the way he just put his foot through the ball and it ended up in the back of the net.
So identical, just you're thinking, how are we going to get a goal? But it just took something like that to beat Dean Henderson.
Yep, absolutely. Forest offered nothing. Pope may as well have had a deck chair in front of him. To be honest, was Lingard even playing?
Kind of hard to know, really.
Well, exactly, because again, the whole Forest team just the win added the day. It's first season back. They signed loads of players and they haven't really gelled together as well yet. Wilson, fairly quiet until he scored, but soon as the ball came in the box from Joe Linton, right place at the right time just to put that in.
Cracking goal. I mean, I'm going to have to watch Match of the Day to see how good that goal was.
Well, YouTube will have the highlights on as well, definitely. So there you are. Brighton away next Saturday. I know our record down there is not good, but can we end a rot down there? Who says we can't? Look at the way Eddie Howe's transformed this side now. Can we get a result down at Brighton next Saturday?
We can, and I've got full confidence that, almost full confidence we're not going to do what we did last time when we opened game. We beat West Ham, but then Brighton beat us 3-0. But obviously things are a lot different. And we're definitely confident, but of course we'll have to see how they get on against Man United tomorrow.
Well, that's it, innit? Well, thank you. Well, Lauren, that was your first game. You've come up to St James's Park. You've seen a 2-0 win against Nottingham Forest at home. And that was very, very comfortable out there the day.
Definitely. It was a very good, successful win and a victory for Newcastle United as well. Brilliant.
It really, really was. First goal was scored. Fabian Schär, what an absolute rocket of a goal that was. The way put his boot through the ball and it just ended up in the back of the net. Dean Henderson, no chance of saving that.
Definitely. To witness that goal, that was absolutely phenomenal to watch. It was a brilliant goal, definitely. The atmosphere, everything about my visit, it was just brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
All flags as well, brilliant as well before the game. All the flags going around the ground.
Yes, it was absolutely amazing to see so many flags and so many supporters backing up the lads and whatnot, and we had to win today. Absolutely brilliant.
Wilson makes it 2-0 for us. It was fairly quiet until he scored, but he was at the right place at the right time, and another great goal put us 2-0 up in the game, and you just know we were going to get the 3 points after that.
Oh yeah, definitely. They never let us down, our lads, do they? Wilson, he scored quite well. Loved it. And it was for my first game. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. It was so great. Definitely going to more.
There you are. What do you make of Forest performance today? They offered absolutely nothing today.
They were just terrible. I'm sorry, but they were absolutely terrible.
Well, first season back in the Premier League after 20 odd years. Yeah. Too many signings and this team has not gelled together yet.
No, they haven't gelled at all, definitely not. And their performance was just not that good. Definitely not.
Absolutely. Well, we've got Brighton away next Saturday away. Can we get another result? Can we get another 3 points down there?
Oh yes, definitely. I reckon we've probably got a win in the bag against Bristol. Definitely.
Well, there you are. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Archer, Newcastle United 2, Nottingham Forest 0. The first game of the season, 3 points in the bag, and a very, very comfortable performance.
Great result for the turn. Obviously, we played really well. Nottingham Forest was absolutely garbage. We just played them off the park. Joe Linton, was really impressed with him, with his performance today. Just non-stop. Great tracking back, defending, getting the ball back. Possession was unreal. That's where Joe Linton should be playing in the midfield role. Played really well.
He was superb the day, he really, really was. He should have had a couple of opportunities which he should have taken in the first half. Forest, nothing. Nick Pope may as well have had a deck chair put in front of him because they offered absolutely nothing. Was Jesse Lingard even playing?
Jesse Lingard, to be fair, Jesse Lingard's just gone to Forest just for the money. 200 grand a week at Forest. What an up. It's just a joke. I reckon Forest might have a chance of staying up out of the relegation zone, but it's early days, it's first game of the season, so anything can happen.
Yep, absolutely. Fabian Schär, what a goal. Reminded me of Burnley in the last season under Rafa. The way he just put his boot through that ball and it just ended up in the back of the net was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, Fabian Schär's goal was absolutely cracking. Got the ball and just whacked it and hit off the inside of the bar and hit inside the post and just went straight in. Like you said, Peter, that goal reminds me of when we played Burnley a few seasons ago.
Yep, I totally agree with that. Wilson fairly quiet in the game, but just the cross came in from Joe Linton, right place at the right time, and a great finish to put with 2-0 up in the game.
Yeah, it was a great ball by, I believe it was ASM, I think. And Wilson just dipped the ball out. Dean Henderson, great finish. 2-0.
Absolutely, yes. Brighton away next Saturday. We haven't got a good record down there at the moment, but can we end that rot? I mean, look at Eddie Howe, he's transformed the side. We've started the season off with 3 points. Can we get a result at Brighton next Saturday?
I don't see why not, because we played a draw against them last season, and I'm very confident we'll beat Brighton. I'm going to go for 2-1 Newcastle.
Brighton are a bit of a tough team, but again, this is Eddie Howe. This is completely a different team now. That's gelling well together. Why can't we get something at Brighton?
I know. Like I said, Peter, I reckon we're gonna beat Brighton. But under new management, under new ownership, and Eddie Howe's completely just changed the style of football, because Steve Bruce was utter shite. Yeah, I reckon we're definitely going to beat Brighton next week.
Well, I think we know what it's time for. Ready, guys? Ready? Here we go.
Well, since we've just signed Sven Botman, there's a little song. And it goes like this. Here's a defender, a Dutch defender. His name is Sven Botman. He's a defender. His name is Sven Botman. 2, 3, 4. It's Sven Botman. It's Sven Botman. Oh, Sven Botman. Yeah! Come on!